Hey everybody, it's Kelly with Inky Hands Warm Hearts. How are you guys? So happy to be here with you today. Hopefully I have my camera set in the right place and we will get a lot done today. I'm going to teach you how to make this adorable treat holder that fits these two white chocolatey pretzel rods that I got at my local Dollar Tree. They're super cute, and this stamp set that we are going to be using is free with a $50 purchase in the United States. If you purchase anything from either the annual catalog or the current brand new mini catalog and spend $50 or more, you can pick this as one of your free options. It's a great stamp set for Easter and for springtime, but I wanted to show you that you could also use it for Valentine's Day. And so it says love you a bunch, and it has these cute little carrots on there. I just thought they were perfect for these little pretzel rods. And so I'm going to show you how to make that really cool treat holder. I've used the really nice little plaids. They're called Country Gingham 6x6 DSP. They come in Balmy Blue, Mint Macaron, Petal Pink, and Sweet Sorbet. And there are different types of gingham. There's one. And then you have that and that. That and that. So there's quite a few to choose from in the variety of colors. So I recommend this pack. As you can see, I've already started using it and I love it. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to move our Thanks a Bunch stamp set out of the way. And we're going to start with a piece of early espresso. It's 10 3/4 by 6 inches. And it is a big one. So it might not fit completely in the camera when I start scoring down the short side. You won't get all the way to the 11-inch length. But you'll get the gist of what I'm doing, and I'm going to give you the measurements. So on the short side, we'll start with that, the part you can't see. So that's the 6-inch length. We're going to score this piece at 2 inches. All the way to the bottom, 2 3/4 of an inch, all the way to the bottom, 4 3/4 of an inch, and 5 1/2. Okay, again at 2 inches, 2 3/4 of an inch, 4 3/4 of an inch, and 5 1/2. So I'm going to turn it, and you'll be able to see those long score marks that I made. Hopefully they're getting caught in the camera. So on the long side, we're also going to score, which is the 10 3/4 inch length. We're going to score at 4 inches, at 9 1/2 inches, and at 10 1/4 inches. Again, at 4 inches, 9 1/2 inches, and 10 1/4 inches. Now, when you do the 4-inch side, don't do what I did. It's going to be covered, but don't do what I did because, oh boy, I'm always doing something, aren't I? You only want to come across 4 sections. So when you do your 4-inch score mark, you only want to stop here. You want to leave this part open so that there's no score mark because it's our back panel. It's the panel that's going to house this piece of DSP on there. So you just don't need to score across it. So we're just going to stop at the 4-inch mark only at on the 4-inch score 4 panels. So when you do this 4-inch score mark, you're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4 and stop there. And then you won't have this. I'm going to show you how to get rid of it if you do make a mistake. That's the beauty of me making mistakes constantly, is that you guys get to learn from them. Oh my goodness, I've had quite the day. All right, so what I do when I make a mistake is I like to burnish the opposite direction. So I flip it over. So the part that got raised up, I use my bone folder and I just kind of burnish the cardstock back and forth. It doesn't completely go away, but unless people are looking for it, they don't know that you made a mistake. All right, so now here's our piece. I'm gonna show you what we're gonna cut away. I'm gonna grab a pencil. So we're gonna burnish along all the score marks, except for this one, because we don't wanna burnish that. And we're gonna do a little bit of cutting. So right here, these score marks at the bottom, I'm gonna go ahead and burnish those first. So I'm gonna turn and burnish. Turn and burnish. And then on this side, we're gonna turn and burnish. One more. And then one more. After that one, it's this one here. But remember, the other score mark is not supposed to be there, so we're gonna pretend that we don't see it. All right, so there's all my marks. So the first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get rid of this section right here. And I like to use a thick bladed scissor whenever I am doing boxes and I have to cut along score marks. So I'm gonna cut along that score mark that I told you to only go to that 4th mark. So I'm stopping right there, okay? And then I'm gonna come down. And you can use your paper trimmer if you want. So that's the back panel, hence why I did not want to score there, because I wanted it to be nice and stiff and sturdy, but it's gonna be fine. Trust me, it's gonna work out. So down here, you have a few marks. So we're gonna cut away these 2 longer pieces right here. So we're gonna get rid of those. Okay, and we're gonna get rid of this one down here at the bottom underneath the square one. It's kind of a little small rectangle. We're gonna get rid of that. Okay. We're also gonna get rid of that one on this side as well. And we're gonna get rid of those 2 pieces here. So I'm gonna come in from this side. We're gonna get rid of these. And we're gonna get rid of this one. Okay, now this is gonna be our tabs. So I'm gonna switch scissors. This one's kind of big for me. And so I'm gonna use a shorter bladed scissor, but I wanna come in here and, so I'm gonna cut here like this. And that's gonna form some tabs. See how they're flaps now? Okay. And I'm gonna angle cut these right here. So I'm gonna angle cut and angle cut, okay? So what's gonna happen is this is gonna roll all the way over like so and form the bottom of our box. And this little section here is gonna form the tabs that are gonna go inside. So I'm gonna also angle cut these pieces. So we're gonna just, that way we have a little less bulk. So I'm just gonna angle cut them. And I'm also gonna trim just a small amount off of them, not a lot, just a small to shorten the tab a little bit. So we're gonna go ahead and angle cut those, and then we're gonna just trim just a small amount off, and I'm gonna lay it down for you guys to see. I know I'm on brown, but I want you to see that the tabs are smaller and they've been angle cut. So this is gonna come across and around, okay, and it's gonna glue to this back panel, which is gonna help keep that back panel nice and stiff. And then these pieces are gonna get slid inside, like so, okay, and that's your bottom. And then this piece here is what's going to accept your pretzels. Pretty cool, right? All right. So let me clear out our excess. I would save this piece, maybe not these small ones, but this large, excuse me, this large section. You might could use that for another project. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw all these little scraps in the trash can. So before I glue it together, I'm gonna add my DSP to the fronts. So the first piece of DSP is 1 3/4 by 4 1/2. I'm sorry, 5 1/4. Goodness, 1 3/4 by 5 1/4, and it's for the front of our box here. This one's gonna go inside, and I need to trim it down. It's supposed to be 4 1/2 inches. That's what confused me, because I was like, wait a minute. So since this is 6 inches long, I just never trimmed it down. So I have to cut 1.5 inches off, which would make it 4 1/2 inches. All right, now we're good. Now I have the two smaller pieces, and this 4 1/2 inch piece is going to go on the inside, not on here, but I'll show you when it's time to glue it all into place. So let's go ahead and grab our silicone mat and our Tombow multi-purpose glue, and we're going to go ahead and attach this piece of DSP. I love these plaids. I think they're so cool. Plaid is like one of my favorite things, and I like that they're all so different. So again, this piece that I'm gluing to the front of the box here where the carrots are going to be sitting is 1 3/4 by 5 1/4. And then I'm going to turn this. We're going to glue this one that's 1 3/4 by 4 1/2. That's going to go on the inside, so that it's a backdrop for my little pretzel rods. So we're gonna go ahead and attach that, which is why I said that it doesn't matter that that score mark is there, because no one's really gonna see it. And that one will go there. I'm gonna make sure that my cut was straight here. I feel like I have a little piece of cardstock, and I do. That was just a hair too wide. There we go. So now when this piece comes around and gets glued, you see that you have a nice opening here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put some glue on this long piece here. I like to make sure that it's on the edge. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this over, and I'm going to line this up so that it's flush, like that. And we just want to make sure that it is nice and attached in there. I'm actually going to lift up this little piece of cardstock and stick this underneath it. All right, I should have waited. I glued that in last. Okay, let's just lift it up though. No one will see it. I'm gonna put a little more glue. Apologize for all the disasters, because you know, that's how things are sometimes. I'm a little off. I'm a little bit off. I'm gonna angle cut this just slightly to get rid of that piece there. All right. So we're going to put this down, make sure that it is attached, and then I'm going to put adhesive down underneath this piece that I lifted up, and we're going to glue that right back. No one will be the wiser that it was even lifted up. So we're going to go ahead and get that piece set, and the next piece that's going to get glued, I want to make sure that it sets real good though before I do it. is going to be this bottom section. So we're going to glue the 2 tabs in and this tab. So these 3 pieces are going to get glued inside so that they don't fall out through the bottom. I'm going to angle these just a little bit more. It needs just a slight more of an angle so that it'll fit in there real well. And that's why I always double check everything before I put any glue on it and make sure, there we go, now it's in there nice. And then we're going to put that piece in, and all of that is going to be glued into place, and I'm going to use my bone folder to help press it. So let's go ahead and put our glue on these outer tabs. So we have the 2 short ones, and then we have this one here. So we're going to tuck those in. I'm going to do a little bit at a time. We're going to start with those, and then we're going to slide this one into place. Okay. And I'm just going to make sure that it holds. I'm going to turn this upwards, and I'm going to grab my bone folder or a ruler. Actually, I'm going to grab a ruler because a ruler is much longer. And I'm just going to make sure that that piece and that my sides are attached to the side. I can also use my bone folder. It's just not as long, but it does fit in there nicely. And you just want to make sure that those 2 side tabs are pressed against the 2 side walls, and that the flap in the back is attached to this back wall. So we're going to press it up against there like so. And then here, I just want to make sure that my, I lifted up that piece of pattern paper, and I want to make sure that it is down, and it is. So that's it for the gluing for right now. So I'm going to go ahead and close my glue. Move our scissors, our bone folder out of the way. All the fun stuff, move it out of the way. All right. Sorry for all of the craziness going on. I mean, this is not normally me. I'm just so out of sorts lately. I don't know what's going on with me. I feel like I'm a hot mess, but I just want to make sure that I don't have anything stuck there. This is an adhesive remover, so if there is any adhesive stuck, it will remove that off of there, which is perfect. Okay, so now let's go ahead and put our pretzels inside. That's what we have so far. So now it's time to decorate the front. So I have already done 2 of the carrots. I've done the 2 pink ones. And we have to stamp our words. We're also going to stamp our red carrot. So our red carrot is with our polished pink is these colors here, and the sweet sorbet is our red carrot. I don't know if you guys have watched my other videos, but I have some carpal tunnel issues, and I'm seeing a doctor shortly on the 24th. And so hopefully everything will be better by then. But for the moment, I can't really do a lot of cutting. It hurts. So I do it ahead of time when I can cut real slow and take my time. Those are the tops for my carrots. And because I am slower, you're going to get to see me cut one of the carrots out. But because I'm slower, I didn't want to have to cut all 3 of them and the greenery in front of you guys. So I just didn't want to take up a lot of your time. Of course, the quicker we get these projects done, the better for you. You can get to stamping yourself, right? So there is our carrot. So cute. This is the cutest set. We're going to go ahead and keep that out. I'm going to go ahead and clean my carrot stamp. And then I'm going to stamp the words, love you a bunch. So I have 2 separate stamps. One says a bunch, one says love you. And we're putting it onto this little scrap piece that I have of polished pink. I'm going to start with the love you. And I'm just going to do it in the center here. So there's our love you. Let's clean. because I have to flip it. Well, I stamped it down too hard. Let's try that one again. I'm gonna tap it a little bit lighter. Let's do this side. So I'm gonna do the love you first. There we go. Much better, much cleaner. So we're gonna do the love you, and now we're gonna do a bunch. You have a little bunch of carrots. So I'm gonna go ahead and stamp that down, and right about there. Yeah, perfect. So I'll show you how I cut that in a minute, but I just wanted to get all the stamping out of the way. Let's go ahead and close our Sweet Sorbet ink pad. The green tops were done in Granny Apple Green. So the three colors we used today were Polished Pink, Granny Apple Green, and Sweet Sorbet. I'm gonna set that to the side, grab my paper snips, and we'll cut this carrot out. So when I cut, I like to leave a border around my image, and then I like to move my paper, not my scissors. I think you get a much cleaner, less choppy, fussy cut. And the more you do it, the better practice you get. I'm real slow doing it with the carpal tunnel because I just have a lot of pain in my hands. But that's why I fussy cut the greenery ahead of time. So there is our red carrot. So let's go ahead and get these guys situated. So we're gonna glue our two pink carrots down. Let's make sure we have room for the stems. We're gonna put one of the stems over here, and that looks good. So I have to make sure my carrot is down far enough. And then this one, I'm gonna angle the greenery off to the side and make sure that it still holds my carrot in place. So we're gonna start with the greenery. Let's just leave the carrots in place there. You can see I use both sides of my paper when I'm stamping. Well, God, you know, we have two sides, so we might as well use them, right? When we make mistakes, I just reuse paper on the opposite side. So there's that one. I'm gonna grab my tweezers. We're gonna do one at a time. And like I said, I want this one to be kind of angled. So I'm gonna just place it in there and then kind of angle the greenery. Let's do the other greenery. When I'm designing, sometimes I stamp things and then I don't like what it looks like, or I don't like the colors, or I decide to use something else. And so I end up with a lot of cardstock that's been stamped on, and then I use the other side. I just put it in my scrap bin, and then when it's time to stamp something else, I just use the other side. And that way it doesn't go to waste. All right, so there's that carrot top. Now let's go ahead and glue our two pink carrots into place. You can see those were candy cane backgrounds. Again, I was trying something out in designing and chose not to go with it, so I didn't want to waste the paper, especially as much as I use basic white. I didn't want to waste it. So we're going to go ahead and put this carrot down here. So cute, these carrots. There's that one. Let's grab the other one. Let's place him a little bit lower maybe. Perfect. And then we're gonna add our other carrot. The other one's gonna be popped up, and so is the greenery. So we're gonna grab our dimensionals. So we'll start with the large one, and I'm gonna put the greenery behind the carrot, and then I'm gonna use a dimensional to keep it in place. So I'm gonna kind of grab that with that dimensional right there. We'll put another one here, and then we're gonna move to the minis because the carrot gets narrower as we go down. So I'm gonna put one mini there and another one above it. And then I like to use the edges of my dimensionals. Like you can see here, I've used both of these sides. So I saved them, and I want to do a long skinny piece for that point right there, because I definitely want it to have some support. Now I need to add some smaller pieces up here in the greenery. So let's just cut some smaller little pieces, and we'll use these to place amongst this greenery here. So we'll put this one here, another one there. Excuse me, sorry that I'm so hoarse. I've done a little bit of talking today, and I think that's part of it. I've been getting over a cold. I wasn't feeling too well. I had bronchitis during Christmas, so I'm just falling apart. Carpal tunnel, bronchitis. All right. So there we go. I'm actually going to put, I know it sounds crazy, but I'm actually going to put 2 skinny pieces down that stem of the carrot because I think it needs support. So I'm going to put one there. The backs are already off of them, so I won't have to try and struggle and pull those off. But I think that even that thin little spot, which is why I love the edges, because you don't cut into your big pieces and you're able to still do the amount of dimensionals that you'd like. I'm going ahead and pulling the backs off of that. We'll start with these. I like to use the Take Your Pick tool because I find that dimensional backs like to live all over my craft room, and I don't like them there. I like them in the garbage. So when I use the Take Your Pick tool, they come off and they stay on the Take Your Pick tool, and then I can place them directly into the trash can, which I love. So there we go. Trash can, here we go. All right, so here's our red carrot, and I'm gonna drop that one lower than the others, kind of like that. So cute, look at that. So now we're gonna cut our Love You a Bunch. I'm gonna give you a tip about this. So I'm gonna take this side and I'm just gonna angle cut it like that, but I'm not gonna get rid of that angle that I cut off of there. I'm gonna flip it over so that it forms like a little triangle, see right there? So here it was, I'm gonna flip it over, and then I'm gonna bring it, sorry guys. Let me take a drink. That might help. All right, a little bit of water. I'm not gonna flip it over. I forgot that I did opposite directions, but if you're doing the same direction, you need to flip it over, but I'm gonna do opposite directions. So I'm gonna take that piece that I cut right here, and I'm just gonna slide it down, and I'm gonna figure out how far I wanna cut, and I'm gonna place it there, and then I'm gonna end up with the same angle. I think I want a little bit more room. I can always cut it away. Let's see. How does that look? Maybe too far. Let's move it in a little bit. Slide it in and let's cut a little bit more off. But that's just a tip for you guys to use that piece. Yeah, I like it like that. So we're gonna go ahead and attach this on. And so when we do that, I'm gonna use Stampin' Dimensionals, not these, not the parts and pieces, but the actual whole large ones. And we're gonna use 2 of them. So I've grabbed 2 off of that sheet there. And I'm going to put 1 on each side of that. And then in the center, I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of wet adhesive, which will bond to that carrot and keep it from moving. But I need to pull the backs off. Again, here comes Take Your Pick tool to the rescue. And let's go ahead and attach our words across our piece, maybe down here. Yeah, I like that. And then we're gonna add some heart pearls. I love them, they're so cute. You have some that are really pearly, And then you have solid white and then white with some clear mixed in with them. So I'm going to use the solid white ones. I'm going to grab one with the take your pick tool, but the putty end. I'm going to put one on the red carrot right there. I'm going to add a little baby one on the label, maybe right here. These little hearts are so cute. I'm going to add a larger one again, if I can pick it up. Let's see, how about here, next to that greenery. I'm very happy with that. Let's put the cover, put this back in its little sleeve. I hope that you've enjoyed this project so far. I think it looks super cute. You could always add a ribbon around there if you would like a ribbon as well. I just didn't think it needed one. I do like to put ribbons on projects, but I just felt like this one didn't really need one. If you haven't seen my other Valentine projects, this is my third one that I've made so far. You can check out my videos and see the other projects, because I have 2 other projects videos out, and tomorrow there'll be another one. So definitely check it out. For the next couple weeks, I'm going to be doing Valentine projects, and I hope that you have enjoyed this one. I think that they are super cute. I like them. And I hope that you enjoyed watching me use the Thanks a Bunch stamp set that is free in your celebration. If you would like to have me be your demonstrator and you don't have catalogs, just let me know that you need them. I'd be happy to get them for you. Yesterday I had a live stream. I'm live every Tuesdays at 8 p.m. So I would love to see if you would want to catch me live. I'd love to have you there. And I hope that you enjoyed this project. Sorry for some of the mistakes, but hopefully those mistakes will help you from making them. And thanks for being here again. I really appreciate it. This is Kelly with Inky Hands Warm Hearts. Happy stamping!